I guess we'll get started. Let's do it. So we were just saying, Roki, I guess he will be up first. Hi, Luck. Good to see you. So Roki didn't really even play that much, to be honest. I don't know if I even feel comfortable ranking him. So I think I might just leave him out for now. For anyone who's watching the VOD on YouTube afterwards, just know that some people aren't going to be ranked on here just because I'm not comfortable with how much they played and I don't feel right judging them. And Roki's one of those people because he was like a two-way or whatever, and he didn't play all that much. So I'm probably just going to leave him out for now. Perhaps you could have made a played too little tier. I could have. It's whatever, though. It's fine. I'm too lazy. Plus, this isn't mine. Someone else gave this to me. So that means first up this is Mika, I think. And Mika, in my opinion, was really, really underrated. I've mentioned it before in some of my previous videos. But I thought he was just a very solid all-around player when he got to play. I thought his Mercy was really good. His Lucio and Brig weren't that bad either. Like, very, very underrated player that I think people need to respect a lot more. And I'm hoping he gets to play a bit more in Season 4, because I think he could be very serviceable for the Spark. But based off how he did this year, I'm leaning towards like a B+. Like, I don't know if I feel comfortable putting him A. Maybe I'll do that later. But for now, I'm going to start with like a nice B+. I'm agreeing with what I see from some people in chat. Next will be Yveltal. And he kind of had a down year, I would say, compared to Season 2. His Brigitte was kind of, like, mediocre. His Lucio was kind of just feeding at times, I would say. Just all around kind of disappointing year from him. But I feel like that's a common theme with most Chengdu players, like, outside of that one meta they're really good at. So I'd say he's probably somewhere in the C range. I don't know where, but he's definitely C. He's like average at best, based off of how he did in Season 3. Next is Kelix. Oh my god, I completely forgot he played for Toronto. That's insane. It's already been that long. When he did play, it wasn't anything special, though. I guess I'll rank him. Like, I don't even feel that right ranking him. I guess I will. For now, I'm going to put him like D+, C-, and we'll go from there. Like, Kelix wasn't that good, sadly, when he did play. Kelix London Pepe laugh. Oh, is that my boy Toby? Yo! One of the better main support players in the league this year. I loved watching Toby play. I thought that his Lucio was as good as ever, but he showed a lot of promise on BAP and Brig as well, and I think he was one of the most consistent players on the Seoul Dynasty without a doubt. Maybe arguably the most consistent, if I'm going to be completely honest. Whenever he played, I felt like he just knew what he was doing, you know? I liked the way that Toby played. He was the leader in more ways than one. He led by example, and he's also just a veteran of the game. You gotta love how Toby played this year. He's gotta be somewhere in the A range. Not quite S, but you could make an argument he's like a top 5, top 6 main support this year, I would say. I'd say that A tier is pretty fair for Toby. You hate so much that he hasn't been signed yet? Yeah, same here. It's really sad. Like, for one, Seoul not bringing him back was kind of rough, but might not have been their choice in the end. Next is Fuse? Yeah, this is Fuse. Fuse didn't really play that much. I don't want to rank him. He played Mercy, like those few times or whatever for London. He was a very rare appearance in the league. The amount of playtime he got, you know? Yeah, he did have a pretty decent Mercy. He just didn't play that much, so I don't want to rank him, because Sanguinar was like the mainstay. So, I'm going to leave Fuse out for now. But on that note, we move on over to FD God. And this is a tough choice, because FD God was, nuts. But I'm not sure if I feel comfortable putting him top tier. I guess I will. Yeah, no, He's definitely S tier. I don't know what I'm saying. He's got to be S tier. It's tough because I think like there's a few other main supports that are just like insane. Well, at least one in particular that's just like above everybody else. But I'll say FD God makes the cut, like a S minus. His Lucio was a game changer. And honestly, not enough people talk about his Brig either. Statistically, it was really good, and I feel like he definitely played a pivotal role in Paris' success this year. Through all the metas. To think he's S and now he's on Shock. I know, right? That's a scary thought. Very scary. I don't even want to know what the Shock will do with him. He might be even better. Which just doesn't even seem possible to me. Because, again, he played so well on Paris. And, like, I don't know if he's the best Brig in the league, but seriously one of the better ones. So next we have Masa. You know, I think I'm going to put these guys that I'm not ranking at the end. So I don't have to look at them. So Masa. Masa had a really down year, much like with Yveltal. I was very disappointed with him on basically every character he played. I don't know how the rest of you feel. Obviously, I don't want you to try and influence me here, but I personally thought he was very average. I felt like he didn't have a proper understanding of how to use Brig. It's not entirely his fault because Atlanta were bad, but they literally replaced him for Fire, who was on the bench like any other time. So, I'm going to say Masa's in the C range. Above Yveltal, though, for sure. Yeah, his Lucio wasn't that bad still, but not as good as Season 2. Not all his fault, but he could have played better. Let's see. B tier at best. Yeah, definitely. Langsa. How much did he even play? I mean, he definitely did play a decent amount, but it really wasn't anything better than Yveltal. I feel like there was no difference between the two of them. Outside of, like, Mercy, which Yveltal was definitely better at. I think it's fair to put him, like, right at Yveltal level. You could argue he's better, he's worse, but I'd say they're close to the same in terms of overall impact. His BAP wasn't that bad when he played it, yeah. Again, though, nothing special, I feel like. C tier in your opinion? I've seen a lot of C's, some B's. Yeah, that's pretty fair. Langsa played as much as Jachir. Oh, Pepe laugh. Alright. Next is Arc. People aren't going to like me for this, definitely. But I thought Arc was really, really average this year. I think he's like somewhere in the C range as well. Maybe even D. But for now, I'll put him like average. Because like his Mercy definitely was a saving grace in the playoffs. But his Lucio, it's just not it. Like, the way he plays that character is so incredibly passive, and I felt like it just wasn't decisive enough for the Justice to really get any value out of it overall. He's not known for his aggression. He's not known for the crazy boops like your FD gods and all those guys. He likes to play very safe, and you can't really play safe on a team that's struggling so much, I feel, because then you're not really contributing anything. So I'd say Arc, for now, I have him in C, but I might move him lower later on, but I'll have to think about it. His Lucio was the worst in the league, in my opinion. His Brig was terrible, too. Yeah, it wasn't very good. His Mercy definitely did save him a little bit. And also his BAP. I've always liked Arc's BAP. It kind of suits his playstyle. Yeah, Arc's playstyle is definitely Resident Sleeper, no doubt. Yeah. Next we got Slime. Arc equals bruh. Slime didn't really play all too much, but he played those like 3 games or whatever on Vancouver. It might have been 2. I can't remember. Because when they went to APAC for those 2 games, I remember they played a lot of double flex support. But then he also played on Soul. Overall, I thought Slime was somewhere in the B range. Not as high as Mika. I thought Mika was a little bit better personally. But I've always liked Slime style a lot. Didn't really get to prove himself as much. If he got to play more, maybe he would have been a little bit higher. But his Brig and Lucio were, of course, very good as usual. But that's all he really played. So, yeah. New tier. People don't remember that Slime was S. Yeah, Slime used to be really, really good. Slime isn't S this season? Definitely not. Slime's the only guy in the league who has lost 2 grand finals appearances. I mean, to be fair, he didn't really play in the second one. Slime and Mayhem could be a lot better. But overall, again, I think Slime's style works really well on a lot of teams. He was good, but not fantastic from what I saw. Goat Slime was one of the best things ever. I kind of missed that too. Fire. Do I want to rank Fire? Is it worth ranking Fire when he played Brig like 2 times? Probably not. It's probably not worth ranking him, right? Yeah, he played like once or twice. That's all I remember, because Masa's Brig was just not good. I'm probably not going to rank him. C's probably fair for him, but I don't want to rank Fire when he played like 2 times. Now we can talk about Closer, who I thought was pretty meh. I'm sure a lot of people feel the same way, because Dallas main support situation was just terrible all year, no matter who they played, basically. I think Closer might be able to reach like the C- mark, but I'm going to put him like D+. Or maybe C-. What do I want to do with Closer? I'll put him C-. I'll do C-. I still don't understand why Closer got a spot in Justice. I'm pretty sure that he just like popped off in tryouts, Keon. He was like absolutely nutty. Your content's been keeping me going throughout this bad year. Thank you. You're welcome. I'm glad you enjoy the videos. I appreciate the kind words. Both NYXL supports look like the same person. They do look kind of similar. Why is Roki here? Isn't he a flex support? No, he's a main support. So Closer for now, mediocre, C-. Might put him lower later. Next is Neptuno, who I thought played pretty well when he actually got to play before, like, he got screwed over by the visa stuff, and then Chara just became a really solid player. I'm willing to have a hot take here and say that Neptuno's like a C+ or like a B-. Somewhere in that range. I look like a Chad? Thank you. I kind of disagree. I'm going to put him C+. I didn't think he looked that bad. He did kind of feed at the start, but I kind of liked his BAP when he played it. He was alright. I hope the C tier doesn't get too big. So next is Mondu. Mondu didn't really play that much. I'm going to say not enough playtime for Mondu. As much as I love this guy, Animo was the guy they used. Like 98% of the time. He played Lucio for like a few maps. That's just about it. Had a great Lucio and a terrible Mercy. Yeah, I remember that. Why isn't Slime and not enough playtime? I thought he played just enough. Like, he played a couple games at the start of the year with Vancouver. And then he played, like, some maps with Seoul here and there. I thought he just did enough. Anyway, though. Neptuno stuck in Spain without the S. True. Moth. I mean, this is just the most obvious one ever. If you don't have Moth as, like, your #1 main support, or at least, like, top 2 or 3, then you're memeing definitely with me. You're absolutely memeing with me. No offense, but you have to be trolling me. Moth is just a god amongst men. He's just so consistent. Can you make a new tier for Moth? Just the Moth tier. Moth is like A-, B+ because too passive. Kappa. Why do you think Moth was so good? though not carried by his team. I thought that Moth really pulled his weight. That's all. Like, he never did anything bad, did he? He usually just popped off on Lucio. His Mercy wasn't that bad. His Brig was always good. Like, it's just he was only suited for certain metas because they liked the Twilight and Violet combo a lot as well, you know? I mean, those are literally like two of the best flex supports in the world. It's hard to go against that. But Moth's a god. Model of consistency. You have Moth 4th. Interesting, Thor. Glad to see you can make it, by the way. True, minimal or no mistakes. You think FD God is better? Interesting take. Alright. Anyway, next we got Lee J. Gon. Another really solid main support player. The only main support to get a Roll Star award, I believe, right? Definitely another S tier. I thought his Brig was arguably number 1. It's debatable, of course. His Lucio was top tier. When he wasn't feeding out of his mind, of course. That didn't really happen all that much. His Mercy was a little weird for my liking. I'm going to put him above FD God, though. Personally. Oh, yeah, FD God got a Roll Star. You guys are right. You guys are right. I forgot. FD got better. Again, I think it's fair. They're really close. I like Lee J. Gon just a little bit more, though. Crazy Moth didn't get Roll Star. At least he already got one the year before. Yeah, Moth got a Roll Star in 2019. You take Lee J. Gon on Brig and Mercy. I don't even like Lee J. Gon's Mercy that much. He just likes to kill things. It's not really the Mercy style. Oh yeah, FD God will definitely be S tier on Shock. So let's get on to Jexay now, shall we? Obviously, the second best main support on Houston, only behind the GOAT Boink Kappa. So I thought Jexay was overall a really solid player on the Houston Outlaws. I thought he started off the year very, very strong, but then kind of like as the season progressed, his stocks kind of fell. Still was never bad. Definitely above average. He's probably like somewhere B, like mid to low B, I think is really fair. Some people might say he's high B. I think that's probably stretching it a little bit. But yeah. Definitely slightly above average. One of the best players on Houston, no doubt. He got burnt out because Houston got boomed all the time. Yep. Who's the best main support on the worst team? I think it could have been Jexay and Houston for 2020 at least. I might put him above Slime. Just because he played more? I'll do it. Sure, why not? I'll do it for the fans. He looked above average on an average team. Can't wait to see him on Dallas this year. Same, though. All right, let's do it. Big Goose, the Goose. Another very mediocre player in 2020, in my opinion. I thought his Lucio was not what it used to be. I thought his Mercy was not what it used to be. And his Brig was an atrocity. Like, oh my god, his Brig made me so mad. Statistically, it was just a nightmare to look at. I hated looking at it. He never really improved. I feel like he was arguably the biggest weakness on the Gladiators this year. Big Goose was not good. Big Goose was not good at all. I'm going to put him D+ for the time being. Do I really feel right putting him above Closer, though? Maybe I'll move Closer down here for now, then. I'll shift things around when I need to. I thought Big Goose was really bad, though. No offense to my Big Goose or Gladiators fans, but I thought he played really bad. Goose greater than Closer. It's tough. I mean, they're both not very good regardless. Boink, I mean, that's not enough playtime. Psych, S tier, best player ever. You gotta love it, right? Boink's just the GOAT. Boink's the greatest main support player to ever touch the game. He doesn't even need to have playtime because he's that good. I'm just kidding. Boink, not enough playtime. Boink is an easy S. Boink, Craig has him. Didn't close or impress in Justice tryouts? Yes, that's correct, Thor. No Boink tier. Did he even play one game? No, not a single second. Boink had less deaths than Moth. True. So true. That's good. Next, we got Animo. I thought Animo was definitely an A-tier player. I don't think his style meshed well with 2020 New York, but he'd never really played bad, you know? Like, he could have played better, but he never played, like, trash. That's for sure. A little bit worse than Toby, but, like, he doesn't make a lot of mistakes. That's part of the reason I like Animo so much. He has a rather passive style, but it works for, like, just how he plays because of how intelligent he is, I feel like. His Lucio could be a little bit better, but not the worst thing ever. His Mercy is obviously amazing, one of the best in the league. His Brig I thought was a little underrated, and I also thought he had a really good BAP. Just an overall very solid and well-rounded main support. He did pretty well while his flex support was feeding his brains out on Moira. I know, right? Why isn't Zephyr on this list? He's not a support player. He's a god. Gods don't deserve to be in the same universe as these mortals. But anyway, Chris. My guy Chris. He's pretty okay. One of the worst, probably the worst player on the Florida starting lineup. But I thought he was like a B-. Will this be on YouTube? Yes, it will. I'm going to say Chris definitely makes the B tier cut, in my opinion. Because again, it's kind of like Animo, where he didn't like make too many mistakes. But he didn't play that bad. I thought he was kind of improved compared to his Season 2 campaign. I hope you're having a great day as well, CQL_FGC. Smiley face. We at 100 viewers. Sick. His Brig was pretty good. I thought his BAP was pretty good too. His Lucio was alright. Like, he's not going to blow your socks off, but he's not the worst thing in the world either, you know? Florida definitely valued him for something if they're willing to keep him for another year after his rookie season. Is this Swimmer? Oh my god, Swimmer's on this tier list? Bro. Swimmer. Remember when Swimmer played, guys? Good times. Good times. Oh my god, I forgot he was on here. He played, like, those first few Boston games. So should we rank him? I mean, he's not going to be high, but he's probably going to be, like, here. But Swimmer played, though, so we'll rank him. He played during those really ugly Boston games where they had, like, Munchkin on May and stuff. Holy moly. Don't rank him? How much did he play? He played during the first week. I know he played during opening week. Where was I, though? I ranked Swimmer here because why not? I played like 3 games. Oh, yeah, he did play in the Toilet Bowl. Yeah, he has to be ranked because of that. Anyway, enough of Swimmer. He's irrelevant. Let's talk about Cruz. Cruz is a feeder. Gonna head out again. Later, Thor. I'll make sure to send a screenshot if I can remember. I thought Cruz was good enough for a C. I don't think he's better than Yveltal or Linksa, but he makes the cut. I'll give it to him. He had a good enough Lucio. And, like, he played, Brig as well. It wasn't the worst. Wasn't the worst thing in the world. He's average. These Toronto dudes. Yeah, I'm sorry, Cabal. That's just how it goes. That's how it goes. Toronto is a mediocre team, so that's what's going to happen. IDK, my boy. Yo, I love IDK. I thought he was about as good as Mika, or maybe a little worse or a little better, depending on who you're talking to. So I'm going to put him like right next to Mika because I thought they're kind of comparable. I thought they each had like certain strengths over the other. Like, I thought Mika was probably a better Brig, but IDK was better at Lucio. Mika was better at Mercy. Like, it's really close. I'd say personally that Mika was a little better. IDK looking like a GOATS one trick. I will be doing flex supports as well. Yes. IDK greater than everyone. Oh my god, it's Halo. I'm sure that some of you are going to see this as a hot take. Because, like, some people hate Boston and just think all their players are bad. But I think Halo's somewhere in the C range, honestly. I'm going to put him above Cruz. I might even put him a little higher, actually. I'm going to move things around. I'm going to put Arc here. I'm going to put Halo here. I thought Halo was, like, genuinely not that bad at all. He just plays on Boston, so, like, what else is there to say? He played on such a bad team. He was so trash. I don't think he was that bad. I really don't. Halo was the worst main support in the league. I think that's a hot take. Halo above Closer. I really don't think that Halo was that bad. No, I'm going to put him here, actually. Yeah. I thought Halo was just fine, though. Don't hate on this man. He played on Boston. Played on a terrible team. Genuinely was not a bad player, I promise you. Don't hype up the Boston fans. I'm not. I'm just genuinely saying that he's not that bad. Like, plus Karkar exists. We didn't even get to him yet. Closer played on a terrible team, too. Yeah. I just thought that Closer was worse. Just a personal opinion. Okay. Enough about Halo. You guys are going to keep yelling at me, so we're going to talk about Funny Astro, who I think is the final S-tier main support, in my humble opinion. Because his Lucio was, like, God tier. His Brig wasn't that bad at all. He played BAP, like, a couple times. It wasn't terrible. His Mercy isn't bad. But, yeah, not much else to say. Just, like, the model of consistency. He's cracked. Him and Alarm made for one of the best one of the best support duos in the league, easily. Final S tier. What about Karkar? Karkar greater than Arc, barely? Dang. Funny Astro greater than FD God. Depends on who you're talking to. I think it's really close. I just felt like FD God's impact was a little greater. Maybe that's just because of, like, his ability to really take over on control maps. I kind of value that a lot. Is that Harry Hook? Yeah, I'm probably not going to rank Harry Hook. He played, like, that one map, or not one map, like that one game. It was, like, against the Gladiators, I think. So I don't really want to rank him. Hot take. Toby greater than Funny Astro. That is kind of a hot take, but I can understand it. Because Toby was really good. Astro won the Lucio 1v1 in All-Stars. Oh yeah, that means therefore he's the best player ever, am I right? Harry Hook in jail tier. Monko, you guys are making a lot of jokes. Boink is S tier. He's the CEO and backbone of the Outlaws. Just the secret person in charge. Speaking of Dallas main supports, we have Paintbrush, who was literally just like... Literally, he was just as good as Closer. Like, there is no difference. I saw zero difference. So I'm probably going to put Closer just... I'm going to put them right next to each other. There's really no difference. It doesn't matter who you put ahead of who. Paintbrush was just there. That's literally the perfect analogy. He existed and did nothing. Very, very mediocre player. Yeah, I can't blame you for forgetting about Paintbrush. He did nothing. Paintbrush got to be on the team after the implosion while Closer was falling apart. Paintbrush was not Closer, but he might as well have been. Rain. I see you guys move on to Rain in the chat. Rain, no bias. I thought he was an absolute A-tier player. Put him. I guess I'll put him below Animo. Or do I want to put him above Animo? Ooh. I thought Rain was really good. I know I'm a Valiant fan, so some people are gonna like yell at me for that and say I'm biased. But he was really, really good. I guess I'll put him below Animo, but he's solid. Rain was a solid player. Like, just pretend I'm not a Valiant fan for a sec, 'cause I know some of you won't be able to take me seriously because of that. But he was like such a sleeper signing for the Valiant this year, it's not even funny. I thought he was going to be so incredibly average. Like, I had no idea he'd be able to perform that well, especially in like big games like against Florida and stuff, his former team, popping off, playing a really good Lucio. He had a really, really good Mercy, in my opinion, like top 5 in the league. His break was all right, but I definitely think he has to be in the A-tier range no matter what. Rain was very good. Is he staying with the Valiant? It looks like he is. Great BAP too. Yeah, not too bad. I'm glad to see you guys agree with me at least. It makes me feel a little bit better about myself. Speaking of A-tier supports, Sanguinar, another A-tier in my opinion. Sanguinar was just like this. He was the support I feel like not enough people talked about. S-tier? That might be pushing it. He was good, but like, he reminds me a lot of Animo with the way he plays. You gotta go. Thanks for stopping by the stream, Keon. I hope you have a good rest of your day. And if you celebrate Christmas Eve with anybody, I hope you have a good time. I'll see you hopefully in another stream. Animo Jr. Yeah, exactly. Good player on a bad team. Budget Animo? Not even. I feel like Sanguinar just is like at his level. They play a very similar style on all their characters. And it just seemed to work better on London than it did with Animo on New York. Just because I feel like London didn't really have as aggressive of a style going on for them. So Sanguinar kind of just worked better. Where do you think Jaehyun could go? I could not tell you. I have no idea. Animo's Coke and Sanguinar's Pepsi. Or Pepsi? Pepsi. That's a great comparison. Sanguinar, I'm going to put him there. Next is Chara. Chara's an interesting one. Because coming into the season, I kind of thought that Neptuno was going to maybe be a little bit better. But then Chara, like, once Neptuno went back to Spain, he kind of popped off. He was genuinely really good on, like, everything he played except for Mercy. His Brig was, like, upper tier, I feel like. His Lucio not as much. I'm willing to put him, like, slightly above IDK, though. He's like high B or a low A. Like, Chara's low-key really good. Kind of a shame he's not going to find a team. I'm pretty sure he's transitioning into coaching, though, if I remember correctly, which is really cool. His Brig was arguably best in the league. For sure. Chara's Lucio beats were good. Yep. Yeah, coach on T1. That's correct. Yeah, that's right. Karkar, Monka. Karkar's probably the worst main support in the league. No offense, Karkar. I don't know if you'll ever watch this. I know he follows me on Twitter, so like he at least knows me, but no offense, dude. Karkar was just not it. Imagine Jaehyun joining Runaway. That'd be pretty cool. Not over Swimmer. Or Kelix. I'll put him above Swimmer just for you. Yeah, he was good on Fusion University. I'm not standing for this Chara slander. I love just seeing the duality of this. I have the Vancouver fan like, yay, you put him above Swimmer, and the Boston fan, no, you put him below Swimmer. Or you put him above Swimmer. That's funny. How much you think main support quality is affected by team quality? Not as much as other positions, to be honest, because I think somebody like Sanguinar is a good example of that. Really good main support, played for a not-so-good team, but could still play well. Main supports can be really effective just with like their good shot calling and not making a ton of stupid mistakes and not feeding their brains out. It can help. Even if it doesn't really translate into wins, it can help. Why is Swimmer memed on so heavily? I don't know, it just is. I think it's because, one, he played on Boston, which everyone always likes to make fun of, but two, he was just not that good when he played. Main tank is probably the most effective player. I would agree with that. Now the question is, do I want to make any last moment adjustments before we move on to flex support? Do I want to make any changes? S tier I like. I'm happy with how it looks. I might put Astro ahead of FD God, but for now I'll leave it like that. A tier, I think that's also looking pretty good. Toby, Animo, Rain, Sanguinar, I like that order. B, Mika, Chara, IDK, Jexay. I might put Jexay above IDK. I'm going to do that. And Toby, Chris. Looks good. C, Neptuno, Masa, Yveltal, Langsa, Halo, Arc, Cruz. I don't know if I want to change anything. I might put Arc there. And I'll put Cruz slightly ahead of Halo. I think that's good. Surprised you put Halo that high up. Yeah, I feel like it's a hot take for people outside of my Discord. But I genuinely feel like he's not that bad. Paintbrush, Closer. The only reason I'm putting Paintbrush above Closer, by the way, besides the fact that they're basically like the same player this year, is the fact that Dallas wanted to play him over Closer. Kellex, Car, Swimmer. Maybe I'll put Big Goose C-. I feel like I should move Big Goose up. I feel like maybe I disrespected him a little too hard. Stop with the Chara slander and it's a good list. I'll put Big Goose there. Jake literally said... Ah, yes, Jake. J-Lulk. Boinkin' S. I think I'm happy with how this came out, though. I'm sorry if anyone was offended by what I did. Sorry you got offended over someone's opinion on the internet, but this is what I'm going to leave it at, I think. That's going to be the main support tier list.